Hey friends, it's Emily here from Bullet Journal Engineer. Today we will do 3 very functional and easy weekly spreads. How we arrange our weekly spreads is extremely important for our organization. There are many different ways to arrange them on the page, and today I will show you 3 designs that you should try in your bullet journal. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the videos, and if you do, feel free to like and subscribe. So let's get started. In the previous video we made a simple monthly cover and trackers. If you haven't checked it out yet, I will link it in the description. The first weekly spread that we're going to do is one of my favorites. My tasks are listed one below the other and it's very easy to visually see what are they for. Because of this order, I can transfer the tasks easy from one day to another and it's very neat and clean. To begin with, I mentally divide the page into 3 horizontal parts and draw a dotted line at 1/3 of the height of the page. In the upper part, we will place the fields for daily tasks. To be symmetrical, I divide each page into 3 equal parts, as I said, and a total there are 6. With the help of a circle tool, I make the circles on which I will later draw the reeds. Inside them, I write the date, and since the columns are only 6, I unite Saturday and Sunday in one column. Lately I've been trying to have a rest in the weekends, so I don't need a lot of room for tasks there. After I have written the dates, I use my handwritten stamps to mark the days of the week. Usually I write them by hand, but only got my stamps a week ago and I can't wait to try them, but feel free to write your days as you want with the hand. For the cover of the date numbers, I choose a light ochre tone so that when I put the black stamp on top of it, it is gonna be visible enough. I continue with the weekly calendar. Too often doing daily tasks, we lose track of the time and how fast deadlines come. That's why I like to have a calendar in every weekly spread to remind me the perspective of the month. The other 2 fields that I will put are for notes and for work. There I usually enter my weekly assignments for each category, and you can choose actually the fields according to your needs. There is not need to be notes or work specifically. I don't want to overhaul the page, so I put a simple sticker on the bottom right. It's time to decorate our wreaths. I do it with simple angular shapes and try to point them in a single direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. Here is a close look of how I draw them. I cover the flowers on the wreaths with pale green as not to impose unnecessary color on the page. Since I changed the theme compared to the cover and tracker page, I still want them and the weekly spread to have something in common. That's why I hang a lot of Christmas bows that apply a good contrast to the page. Here actually you can draw everything that is connected to your theme of the month. Flowers or plants or whatever you decide. I also add the small fruits on the wreaths. A quick tip on drawing pages is to always start on the side opposite of the hand that you're writing with. For example, I'm right-handed and I start painting from left to right. That's why there is no danger of blurring something I have already drawn. Well, I still managed to smudge it in other ways, but at least the odds of doing this are not so great. With this we finished our weekly spread. The next weekly we will be quite different from this one. Instead of vertically, we will arrange our tasks horizontally. I use it often in my journals, as you can see here. I start by dividing the page into 4 equal parts vertically. On each dividing line, I write the date and the day of the week, and then I decorate the rest of the line. I don't draw them straight because I will want to decorate them with leaves as on the previous page. Usually I divide each page vertically into 2 equal parts so that the weekly tasks are in the middle, and that's how you have a space at the edges for all the other fields that you want to use. Here you can have a full freedom of what you want to put. Of course, I did a calendar in the upper left corner. To make this weekly spread more colorful, you can add a winter photo in the lower left corner or any other photo. And to equate all weekly spreads, again draw the hanging balls in the upper right corner. I'm starting to fill the rest of the empty space with useful fields like progress box. I try to have this box in my spreads more often and often. In it, I record every progress I have done in this week. For example, if I learn how to do a handstand, I write how to do a handstand, or I write some progress due to tasks that I'm doing. Of course, you decide what you want to write in this box, what is a progress for you. Another important field that I put in these weekly spreads is the field thoughts, where I often put quotes I heard in the same week. And speaking of quotes, I'm going to fill the space at the bottom right with the definition of the word December, because these weekly spreads are actually part of my December theme. I fill in the calendar and continue to the next page. We start with the calendar. This weekly will be very similar to the first one we made, but will give us more space for personal notes. Again, we have 5 columns for each of the 5 working days, and I draw Christmas bows. If you use this weekly spread for another themes instead of Christmas decorations, you can easily draw flowers, bees, trees, cakes, or whatever fits your theme. The difference with the first weekly spread is that I will leave the entire left wall part as a memory area for this week. Some of you already know that I like to write in the bullet journal not only tasks but also memories. So one day when I open it, I'll be able to see what I experienced this week. I think it is important to keep those memories over the years, and I advise you, if not in your weekly spreads, to write down the memories in other pages. The days go by and we don't feel how years have passed at the end. I'm putting a proper quote this week, which I saw on Pinterest. As a bonus for this video, I also put a quick time lapse of how I do a brain dump, which I even mistake it while doing it. Brain dump is also a page I like to put at the beginning of every month, and I know people who put it only once in a year at the beginning, and one page is enough for all 365 days for them. Well, I have a lot of unnecessary things in my head and I need more space to dump them somewhere. If you haven't heard of this page, the brain dump is where you record all the sudden thoughts whose time is not now. For example, you have to study for a math test, but you remember that John has a birthday and you have to call him. So this disturbs your thought process because the brain tries to not forget to call John, and you cannot study well. If you have your brain dump page, you can quickly write the thought on the page and continue studying without thinking about John. When you're done with studying, you get back to the tasks you have written and assign them in the proper days over time. With this, you don't distract your brain with information that is not needed in the moment. Write in the comments which weekly spread you like the most and which one you use more often. I hope this video was useful to you, and of course you can change the weekly spreads however you like, and I'm really curious how it will turn out. Thank you for sticking up with me till the end, friends, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time, guys, and don't forget to stay on the sunny side.